Welcome to another episode of Ask the Attorney. I'm Attorney Vivian Bastawros, and today I'm going to talk to you about hit and run. First, I'm going to tell you about the definition of a hit and run. I'm going to explain to you first that hit and run is a crime. Hit and run is not a traffic violation. You don't get a ticket for a hit and run or an infraction. You have committed a crime. The definition: failure of a driver to remain at the side of a crash that involves death, bodily injury, or property damage. Now, I've told you what it is. I'm going to tell you the scenario. It actually, a true story, happened to me years and years and years ago. I was getting ready for Easter. I went to Costco. I bought tons of meat and chicken because we were going to break our fast. And I was so excited about Easter. As I was backing my car up out of its parking spot and turning, the front of my car grazed the corner of the car next to me. It was Easter. I didn't want to have to deal with the problems of reporting it. I got out, I looked, there's no damage to him, there's no damage to me, and I'm thinking I'm okay. And so I go home. The guilt started in on me, and I felt bad for what I had done. So I tried to do the right thing. I called the store, I think it was BJ's or Costco. I called the store and I said to them, if anybody comes and reports some property damage to their car, please call me. I think it was me because I think I touched the bumper of the car next to me. To be completely honest with you, there was always the chance that there was a videotape of what happened. Now I ask you, did I do the right thing, or am I guilty of a hit and run? Let's ask the people.
As long as you report it, you're not going to be guilty of a hit and run because you still told the cops what you did. It is a right thing to do to report any accident that you do, because you're basically putting the victim of this accident in a negative, like this person needs to even talk to you, tell you, okay, I just want an apology or something. So just doing a hit and run is going to have a negative aspect in the case for your benefit. So it's not going to help you in any way possible. It's just going to worsen your case. So definitely, even if you see a hit and run, you have to report it, because you have to report everything that you see if it's illegal or if it's going to harm anyone in any way possible.
If you see a hit and run and you report it, I think you're doing the correct thing in your life. But if you don't report it, I think you should be able to report it.
If you get in a car accident, you shouldn't be running, okay? Now, regardless, if you do hit and run, your license is going to be suspended regardless on the spot. So, might as well, if you get in a car accident, just be on the spot and just, face the reality.
This is illegal and is insurance fraud, because you're getting away with something that you didn't pay for.
I think that you definitely should report it, because you just did something wrong, and if that was you, you would want someone to report it.
The answer is, I was guilty of the crime of hit and run. What are you supposed to do when you're in a hit and run situation so that you are not guilty of a crime? It depends. In my situation, there may or may not have been property damage. There were no people involved, nobody was hurt, so it's the issue of property damage. What are you supposed to do when you're in a crash and there's property damage? You have to get out of your car, go to the other driver, and exchange information. The issue is what happens when it's a parked car, which is what happened to me. What did I do? I called the store. I said, if somebody complains about their car being damaged, and it happens all the time. I come home with scratches on my car, dents in my car. But if somebody complains, please let me know, because I think it was me. Was that enough? It was not. What does the law require you to do if you hit a parked car? You must try to find the owner of the car. If you cannot find the owner of the car, you have to attach in a conspicuous place on the car written note saying your name, your address, the registration number of the car you are driving, and here is the best part. You must notify the police. That's right. You have to call the police on yourself and notify them that you hit a car that was unattended and you could not find the owner. It was not enough for me to contact the store because what I was trying to do is make it right financially for the other driver so that I would pay for their damage. But what I missed was that I had committed a crime, a hit and run crime. And by not reporting it to the police, it became a hit and run. That was the part where I went wrong. The rules are different if a person is hurt or dies as a result of a crash. What are you required to do? You have to give your name, address, vehicle registration number to the other driver and show them your license. You have to provide license, registration, all the fun stuff to an investigating police. Now, what happens if the other person is in need of medical attention? You have to give assistance because you caused their medical need. You have to carry or make arrangement for that person to go to a hospital or a doctor. If the other driver cannot, because they are hurt, they cannot take your information down, you have to call the police. Again, you have to call the police on yourself so that you have reported an accident rather than committed the crime of hit and run. What will happen if you are caught? And you know what? In this day and age, people are caught all the time. Sometimes people don't even realize they nicked somebody's car, but they will get caught. So if in doubt, check. Because there's video cameras everywhere. Everyone has got a phone. The only place that their cell phones aren't allowed are in bathrooms these days. So don't take the chance. Let's go over penalties, and I'm going to go through the penalties in Florida where we are. You'll find similar laws in whatever states you go into. And again, the penalties are split up when there's an injury or when there's property damage. If you are involved in a crash that involves an injury and you run, you are guilty of a third-degree felony and can get up to 5 years in prison. There will also be probation, there will also be a fine, and there will also be a safety driving course, all kinds of things, but it's a felony. Remember, a felony is a serious crime for which you can get up to over 1 year in prison. A misdemeanor, you get up to 1 year in jail. Felony, more serious. The lower the number, the more serious the crime. So, accident where somebody dies or gets injured is not a third-degree felony. It's in fact a first-degree felony. What could happen to you? Up to 30 years in prison. If you are caught driving under the influence, there's a minimal amount of years added to that automatically. How about if you pay back? So in certain crimes like shoplifting, you can pay back the store you stole from, probably 3 times the value of what you stole. Is there a payback here? Can you go to the other driver, having already committed the hit and run, which is what I did, I hit and run. Can I then make the crime go away by calling the store, contacting the driver, and paying for the damage? No, it's too late. Yes, I can do all that, and then the other driver may not sue me, and my insurance may not sue me, but I've already committed the crime. The crime was the unethical, dishonest part of hit and then run. Doesn't matter what you do afterwards, and it's in that moment that you have to make the right decision, exchange the information. If you have to call the police on yourself, the penalty for doing that is much less than the crime of hit and run. Hit and run is a crime. It is not an infraction. It's not something you're going to get a ticket for. It's something you're going to get jail or prison time for. Don't do it. Thank you.